Diesel for We the People News. This video is without prejudice and or without recourse. Alright, not an attorney, not giving legal advice. Alright, never look straight forward, always look around you, be able to protect yourself by any means necessary. Alrighty, let's see if I can get this straightened up a little bit. Alrighty. This is a little bit of insight of municipal courts, okay? And generally, this guy actually does everything by legalese, okay? But he's not an attorney. Attorneys still kind of keep their heads in the box, but when you actually study the legalese on your behalf, then you are not bound to the judge's wishes and authority. Wink, wink. Okay? Now, the municipal courts are not judges. People would call them judges, but they're not judges. Alright? And let's just learn a little bit.
Well, that's your constitutional right. Here's the issue, though, right? So, and I just watched this play out with the lady that I'm helping, Professor. The courts are running administratively, especially in municipal courts, okay? They have their own statutory rules inside the statutes, their rules for their courts. These are not judicial courts. This is administrating and executing people, I should say that correctly, corporations subject to the local government rule, okay? So there is no, when you're at an administrative proceeding, and that administrative proceeding is operating on the assumption that you're a corporate entity subject to their administrative rules, that means you don't have constitutionally secured rights. So you just keep on demanding it. And you use the rules of civil procedure to get it. And then, of course, if you have to, you go past that with a writ of mandamus or an interlocutory appeal, depending on what your state's process is. But every single one of us has the right to a trial by jury. And that's it. And they're going to try to circumnavigate it. They're going to give you half rules. They're going to give you reasons over here that might even, one of the things that our friend here found, and bless her little heart, she goes and reads the rule, and it was repealed a year ago or something like that. And they're citing rules that have been repealed. It's crazy at how much corruption is at these local municipal courts. And the reason for that is you go talk to Johnny Q. Public that's working down at your courthouse there, and he's probably got a 60 IQ. And what else do you expect from these people? I've been doing it this way all my life. Well, people are tribal by nature. So everybody in that facility is probably going to try to protect themselves. They're just doing their jobs. You got to overcome it. Overcome it with facts and law. Yes, it is admin quasi-judicial courts, not judicial at all. Oh, you've got one. Every state, Professor, every state, and even the feds have an Administrative Procedure Act. I can't remember which episode it was with Alphonse that we broke down the Administrative Procedure Act. You need to go check that one out, Professor. No, I do not. I don't. I do not. You can read different opinions from different judges, and what you're going to find is that the judges, without any philosophical thought points, any true foundation, are your bad judges. Your judges that have that foundation, like Clarence Thomas and things of that nature, Gorsuch, you'll see they rule more effectively because they rule with the intentions of what we call the spirit of the law, which is the principles that are behind the law. So no, not all judges know what they are doing. But again, it should be common knowledge that to hinder your life, liberty, or property, or to make you an involuntary slave and a slave of servitude should be illegal. Well, we know it's illegal. Then how did it come back? And it started out as 50 cent property taxes, 50 cent income taxes, and we just accepted it. Well, guess what happened? 4 generations later, and you're paying $15,000, $20,000 a year for a $100,000 home on property taxes, And then you've got income taxes all the way at 50%. You've got 4 generations of people who lived through it and accepted it. So we have nobody else to blame but ourselves.
All right, I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay. Again, y'all, we just did a video on what happened to Direct Deed, right? He was in the administrative courts. They was going by rules, policies, and all that. But he was not ruling on the Constitution because he, the judge, was a rule follower. He was not a constitutional follower. And what that judge should have done and said, hey, this is out of my jurisdiction. This is one of the people. He's not a corporate entity. He does not apply to these ordinance, rules, regulations, and all that as a corporation because he's not a corporation. But because of our ignorance and due to maybe some judges' ignorance, I believe that they still actually know what they're doing. Okay? You should not be on any type of bench whatsoever if you do not know any laws whatsoever. Okay? And if they making a law to put you in captivity, then where did this law came from? Right? Well, how does this policy attend to a free man? All right? And I'll even stretch it out. How does this policy belong to a free person? All right? Do we have right to life, liberty, and property? Well, then how in the world we have a right to property and there's a tax or right into a privilege? And that's exactly what the administrative courts do in the counties and all that. And he's absolutely right. The county, the police, all of them are gathered up around the judge and they're protecting their interests. They want that tax dollars from the people and they want them to stay ignorant. Okay? We cannot have people realize they actually have rights to own property and they have zero rights to tax that property if there is no corporation business on your property, especially if it's free and clear. Okay? What contract of the corporation do you have saying I am part of a corporation? How does this ordinance apply to me? Regardless if you're a person or a man. How does that apply to me? What business is running off my property and make me a corporation? Remember, ordinances means member of corporation. That's it. It stops right there, people. So, like he said, they are assuming and presuming because your silence and acquiescence, you are a corporation. Even though they know it's not true, they're going to keep their mouth shut. Go ahead and let you play stupid, right? And there you go, right? Let the people be fooled if they want to be fooled. These are the People News. Bye, y'all.